Roses with Kevin.
And I'm Kelly. And this is your February 12th edition, episode 49. Coming up, Roses.
Coming up 50. The 50th episode is next week, and then we'll be hitting a year in a couple weeks.
And, big 5-0, big 5-2.
Yep.
Wow.
So, thank you for everybody that stuck with us from the very beginning, and welcome to anybody who's listening new. Glad to have you. Glad you're enjoying it, and hope you enjoyed every episode as much as we've enjoyed putting it out.
Kevin's been listening back. I feel so weird saying this, but you've been listening to our back catalog.
Yeah.
Of episodes to try to do like a year in review episode on our 52nd. And he's taking notes and everything of things that we talk about, and
it's still going. I'm on episode 6, which was talking to the boys when they were here. So
I should go back and listen to them. I don't know why I'm not all that interested in listening to them like you are.
I find it fascinating.
You have seen things change for us a lot this year, actually.
Yeah.
So if you're, sitting there going like, I could never do that. I could never podcast my life every week. We didn't think we could do it either. And God knows, we are really just flying by the seat of our pants here.
We're just making shit up as we go along. We're telling real stories about our real lives.
Yeah, we're really just telling you the boring details of our everyday existence. But when you look back at it over a year of everything we've been through and things we've talked about, it is kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, when you go, this year sucked, but then you go back and you listen to some of this stuff, and you're like, I remember.
It was
kind of nice. It's like
cool.
A little history of our relationship.
We were, we started out with us having a big roller coaster with my mom passing the COVID and whatnot, and
it is cool that she did get to listen to the first.
Yeah, she did listen to the first three episodes, and she loved it. She told us that she was watching it on Alexa, so that was cool. And then, just right now I'm at episode 6, going back through it because I do it while I'm at work. Pause, listen, and just some of the stuff that we talked about, some of the stories you told. I was like, oh, I remember telling that story, and it's just kind of fun to watch, and the sound issues that we had that we've gotten better
I hope
with.
that we've at least somewhat improved on that.
Yeah. So it's good stuff. Go back and give it a watch, and again, we appreciate everybody that's watched us from the beginning and stuck with us. And
we are getting ready to make a actual step forward in growing our audience.
Gonna try.
I have, if you follow us, either one of us on Facebook, I have created a page for Coming Up Roses, where we are going to be posting the video and the audio versions of our show every week, and we're getting ready to boost it.
Yeah.
And try to get it out to more people. So
like it on like the page if you would, and maybe share it.
Just go like the page and share it. Even if you don't listen, it would be a big help if you did that.
Yeah.
And it's a little intimidating because we get good comments because the people who listen to us know us.
Yeah.
But when it's total strangers listening, the comments are probably not all going to be great.
No, but
so I just decided I'm not going to read them.
I'll read them because I don't give a shit. If you call me a big fat chooch all you want, I don't care. That's fine. But
Kevin
I would appreciate
can just tell me about the really nice ones.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Or block the people who make the bad ones.
Or I can go on your page and say fuck you. So either way, I'm not above it.
So look forward to that. It's just called Coming Up Roses. I will share it out again when we post this. And
like and follow on Facebook, on YouTube and Spotify. So
we maybe even like down the road a little ways should set up Twitter.
Yeah, we probably should. I think see if we can get somebody artist to pull their music from Spotify if they don't pull us. That'd be fun. I don't know who
if
would.
we get pulled from Spotify, that's for a free podcast no one's listening to or no one pays for anyway.
Yeah.
So this week we did have a really nice dinner with Tony and Darlene.
Yep. My brother came to town for. He's real big in with the Moose Lodge. I think he started because they had bingo, and my mom went in and obviously wanted to go to the bingo, and he just got involved with it, and he's super involved with it. They had some sort of big meeting here, and they do it every year. So he came down. He invited us to dinner at the Bonefish, and with your mom and dad, who they haven't seen in person
in a long time.
I think since I don't think they've seen him since your dad got diagnosed.
No, I don't think they have either.
Yeah.
So it
But
was
they had
nice.
a real good visit.
We went to Bonefish. I had sirloin and crab cake.
Me too.
Which was delicious, and the potatoes were delicious, and I ordered jasmine rice, which I don't normally get, because I never really liked jasmine rice. I don't know, but it was, I ate literally every morsel on the plate.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It was great.
I can't even remember the last time I ate every single, usually there's, stuff I won't eat,
It was
but
good stuff.
it was so good. Except for the dessert, I wasn't a big fan of the dessert.
They had a brownie ice cream thing, and it sounded great.
And it was a macadamia nut brownie sundae or something. And I think you and I were both thinking that the brownie would have macadamia nuts in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it would, but it didn't. It was a very dense, almost pudding-ish, like a bread pudding's consistency.
Yeah.
Deep chocolate with just whole macadamia nuts on the top of it.
But,
very rich. I'm not a real chocolate.
I mean, if we compare it to the last Fancy Smanchy the dessert we had, which was
it was a cookie.
the cookie at the Cooper's Hawk, which was phenomenal. I remember that more than I remember what I ate that night. It was good. It was good. No way good for us, but man, that was a good cookie.
Yeah, so we had a nice dinner. Kevin also got his new shift at work this week, which is going to make a bit of an impact to our...
The show will probably start coming out on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. I have weekends off, which I haven't had weekends off in a long while.
Can't remember the last time Kevin and I even had a single day off at the same time.
Yeah. I'm working later, though. I'm working from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m., which, I'm not a huge fan of that. But I get my mornings off, which means I can still drive to work every day. We won't be as rushed.
Errands and doctor's appointments before you go to work.
Yeah, I don't have to take time off to go to the doctor.
That part will be good. Not having you around for dinner will not be good. I'll be able to read a lot more because, I just won't have to compete for time. Because the jokers are always on in the bedroom at night. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, God, I just need to read, but I can't focus.
Yeah, that's my fault.
So that's done, and at least it wasn't as horrible as it could have been. So we'll take the weekends off, and then we started watching Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah, that started this week. Super D-list people.
Yeah.
I think the most famous person is Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. Lamar Odom, yeah. But he's more famous for his downfall than anything else. I guess
he was a big basketball player.
I guess I don't know. I don't follow basketball. Yeah. Big dude. He
and the guy from
seems really cool.
I mean, he may be D-list now, but at the time, he was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. They have this woman who was I guess she still does it as an MMA fighter, and she's pretty intense. Not getting violent with anybody, but she's really gotten into the scheming and backstabbing a little bit more hardcore than the rest of them. And then Chris Kattan is there from Night at the Roxbury and Saturday Night Live when it was.
I think he's got issues.
Oh, he's super jacked up.
He's either playing it off that he's very clueless.
I think he's very clueless.
Or he's just really very clueless.
Yeah, he's really very clueless. But it's still fun to watch.
He kind of begged to go home, and they didn't send him home.
No, you didn't get one vote to go home. It's crazy.
Why would you send someone home like that? He is zero threat to anybody.
You want to sit next to him.
You want to be sitting next to him.
But you know what? It could, if it is a trick, and he pulls it off, where he's like the person is sitting at the end and gets it at the end, and he says, "I fooled you people. I made you keep me here. Now I'm here because I'm the most brilliant person ever." I'd have to give it to him. I'd be like, "Yeah, that was great. You deserve the win."
Yeah, so we're pretty. We watch Big Brother. It's on almost every night of the week. I guess this is their
because it's a short season.
Olympics.
Yeah.
They're trying to compete with the Olympics, which isn't
And the
much of a
Olympics-
competition, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, the Olympics are not exciting me this time. First of all, there's the time difference, which makes everything screwy. The Peacock app was a few years ago. NBC had a great app specifically for the Olympics, and it was great. I could follow on my phone, my iPad, had it up on my screen. And it was, but it was London, so the time difference wasn't the same.
It wasn't as bad.
And it wasn't as bad. But even the Winter Olympics, at I think it was Sochi at the time, or even the last Olympics, where the Winter Olympics, where the U.S. Won the curling. Great. It's just not exciting this time. It's just there's so much. You can see the misery of the people that are there.
Do you think it's just a COVID thing? Everybody's
I think
miserable.
it's a combination of COVID and
There's
the
no
idea
audience. There's no crowd cheering for you.
That, yeah. Well,
Like I was watching one of the guys doing figure skating. There's literally nobody there.
But their athletes are being told, watch what you say because they'll lock your ass up.
Yeah.
And there's that. So
I've seen
it's
a
like,
lot of, and there are lots of people just boycotting watching it.
Yeah.
Because it's in China.
Yeah. So it's just not as exciting to watch. Now I have seen some of the curling and it's fun. I like watching curling. I know a lot of people are bored by it, but it's damn interesting to me. It's a precision thing that they do. So, but it's just I don't know. It's just not as exciting as prior Olympics, and I think maybe it is the fact that there's no crowd there.
I think
You're
it's everybody mentally is drained over this COVID thing.
Yeah, their
You
viewership's
look
way
at
down.
it. There's nobody there to cheer any of the athletes on.
And they just all
And
look
then-
miserable.
Yeah, it's not a great.
It's just not a great feel. None of them look like they're happy to be there. None of them.
The last Winter Olympics was in Korea.
Yeah, South Korea.
Anyway, so instead of watching the Olympics and Celebrity Big Brother, we did watch a Disney movie this week, and so we wanted to talk about it. We watched Encanto, not together, of course. I watched it, and then Kevin watched it separate from me.
Yeah. Which I honestly I haven't watched a whole lot of Pixar movies for a while now. It's just, we don't have kids or whatever, and it just hasn't been on my forefront of things to watch. But
my
I
kids
enjoyed
at
it.
school talk about it a lot, and on TikTok, there's tons of videos to the "We Don't Talk About Bruno" song, and so I wanted to watch it, and I didn't know much about it. Like you said, we don't
have kids
pay
or whatever,
attention
so.
to that stuff. And so I watched it, and there was one point, and I can't even remember what song it was, but there was one point where I was like, wow, I'm getting a real Hamilton feel off of this music. Didn't think anything, continue watching it, the credits start to roll, and I was like, oh, okay. Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote all the music, so I was like, well, that totally makes sense now. Why?
Yeah. Because even the song I guess the big song is that We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
And they go back to it a couple times. It's his thumbprint all over it. There's a couple other songs in there that, well, that reminds me of this from Hamilton. So
Yeah, the ones I wish I could remember. I'd have to watch it again.
Mhm.
Do you think they styled Bruno after Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I think that he was when they were probably putting the thing together, if they weren't able to get him to do the music, the movie wouldn't happen. Like if he wasn't going to be a part of it, and I don't know how much he was involved with the producing of it, but if they didn't have his thumbprint on it at all, it wouldn't have happened.
No, but I'm saying the animation and the look of that character Bruno.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I thought he voiced it.
Did he voice Bruno? Oh, he didn't.
No, it was John Leguizamo. Yeah, great actor. I love Leguizamo.
Yeah, Bruno doesn't look. Sometimes they try to make the character look a little bit like who's voicing them, but that doesn't.
He looks like Lin-Manuel.
Yeah.
And he kind of sounded. I thought that's who it was until I watched.
Is it him singing?
That I don't know because I don't know if John can sing it all. Probably, I guess he can.
We have a lot. We really should have looked into this before we were gonna do a whole episode.
Well, I did look at the IMDb page, and the way that some of the stuff I read on the IMDb, like IMDb has a trivia page for each movie that they do, and it looks like he was heavily involved. Like it was more. It almost seemed like a homage to Lin Manuel, at least his style. I
Yeah.
guess maybe that it could be a cultural thing, and we're just because we are so culturally limited to just seeing Hamilton and some of his other work. But I don't know.
All right, let's see.
I don't know if he was a producer.
Um. Oh, I didn't know this. So he also crafted songs for Moana.
Yeah,
Um.
I've only seen bits and pieces of Moana.
It says he came into the process of Encanto early in helping blend the story of the magical family, magic realism, and Colombian culture through the 8 songs that he wrote for the film.
All right,
So,
so
yeah, he
he
had
was
a little
heavily
more to do
involved.
with it, I guess, than just writing the music.
Right, that's just the only official title they could give him. Although I wonder if he's got a producer credit,
Let's see.
because they give you a producer credit for nothing really. Kind of a go-to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
But in any
I'll
event,
look it up. Yeah, I don't want to
it's got his fingerprint all over it. So.
Yeah, it does. And we're big fans.
Mhm.
I'm big fans.
Yeah.
So
Amazingly talented person.
I told Kevin I wanted him to watch it because I wanted to see, and we really haven't talked about how we
avoid talking about it because I knew that we were going to be recording. We want to have a fresh conversation with you. She's written stuff down. I can't read it.
You can't read it, or
I can't. Well, I can see it, but I can barely. My eyesight's for shit.
Um.
Got an eye doctor appointment in a couple weeks. Late on
totally threw me off track. Oh, the ending of it.
Yeah. Spoiler alerts.
Okay, yeah, spoiler. If you have not seen this and you want to watch it, go ahead. Like, stop, come back to this later. Did you agree with, or how did you like the very ending of it?
I the problem I had, they broke formula because there was not really a villain per se, which is not something you get from any animated or any movie really. There's usually a protagonist and an antagonist. There was no villain. So
We're gonna come back to that because I have some
notes on that.
Just some thoughts about who the villain in this movie was.
But they basically at the end of the movie, their house gets destroyed. They lost their powers, but they're back together as a family, like including Bruno, who they don't talk about. They talk about Bruno, so that's great. And then once the girl opens the door, all the magic comes back. And they all have their powers back, and it's just like, well, that growth that they had, they're just, I don't know, it just kind of takes away from the growth that they had.
That is exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I would have been happier, I think, and it would have meant more had the power and the magic not come back into the house.
Yeah.
And not come back into all of them as people. Because that would have made a bigger statement of, look where we've grown and now this is who we are. Rather than, oh, okay, well, we've, come to understand all these other things about our family. Now let's just go back to what we always were doing.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't the same. They did learn, which I appreciate that. I love when people learn. But it just seemed like it did cheapen the growth process.
I agree. I felt like the happier ending would have been, we can make this work. We rebuilt the house. Look what we can do, and we didn't even need the magic to do it.
Yeah.
And then live happily ever after, just knowing that you didn't need the magic.
Right.
But the fact that the magic came back. So here's a couple of thoughts about the magic itself. So I read a brief thing today that said, is the magic the spirit of the husband that got killed?
Well, it could be. That kind of makes sense. You're no longer able to be with your kids because, again, spoiler alert, you're dead.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. Every Disney movie has a parent that dies.
Yeah.
Okay, not a spoiler.
Yeah, if you don't know that, just, everyone. I was watching Jungle Book today. The parents are dead. Yeah.
See?
So yeah. That makes sense. It would have been.
Did the spirit come to protect the family? Was it him? And if it was, then it makes total sense that it came back at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because almost like he was teaching them a lesson. I'm going to take away what I've given you, this magic that's kept you together, and force you to work together as a family because that's what you are. And once you recognize that and you're all back together and you understand each other, then I will come back into the fold, so to speak. Then it would make more sense that the magic is the spirit of the father.
If that's the case, then had they made that a little bit more apparent, then the ending isn't as cheap and haphazard.
When you think about it, Mirabelle did not get powers.
Right.
She was the only one that didn't get powers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was his way. Like, why her? Because her younger brother got powers.
Yeah.
So, was he specifically saying, I'm going to withhold power from her because I know, and this is what Bruno foresaw, it's going to tear this family apart. That she doesn't get. She's going to be looked at differently and treated differently. And those that have and those that don't have, there's going to be this divide between,
yeah,
the haves and the have-nots. And I want to teach you how everybody has a part.
Yeah.
Am I thinking too deeply about it?
No, had they been a little
You said,
bit more...
is there any woke in it?
No, there was.
I didn't really see, but thinking about that, the statement between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. Well, the village people were still living it up pretty well.
Yeah, they were happy.
Yeah.
And they weren't enchanted.
No.
So
they relied upon the enchanted quite a bit.
Yes.
Because they were, like, at the beginning of the movie, they made it explicitly clear that this village relied on this family.
Right.
The super strong girl the most. Because her arc, I think, was the best part of the movie. The strong girl. As a matter of fact, when she sings her song, I thought that was you.
Really? That was me losing all my strength and crying.
No, because you take a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, like she does, and you feel like you have to be strong. This has to do with you being the oldest from your siblings, so you carry a lot of weight on your shoulders. Now, you don't, it's not the same as hers, but that
right.
I made that connection between you and her. And when she sang her song about the pressure getting to her, I was like, that's my wife right there.
I have to go. Like I said, I have to go back and watch it. I didn't connect with her at all. Actually.
Oh my God, I thought that was great. But she's the super strong girl that the village relies on her for most of everything. The donkeys are loose where she has to go collect the donkeys. She's just picking up these donkeys and juggling them like freaking balls. My house is tilting over. Because the house they live in is alive and does stuff kind of almost like the
almost like in Beauty and the Beast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except it's just the house. It's not the furniture, not the accoutrement in the house. It's just the house, like the tile.
And it doesn't have a personality. It doesn't talk to them at all. It just moves them along, and it.
Yeah, and obviously the house is taking care of Bruno. Because the house has kind of got TARDIS magic in it. Anybody familiar with Doctor Who? The TARDIS is it looks like a phone booth for police call boxes, what they used to use in England. But inside is endless. It's huge, bigger on the inside. They actually said that in the movie Doctor Who. So this house is taking care of this guy who's completely off his nut.
Off his nut. He's been estranged from his family.
Yeah. But he's still with the family.
He is, but he's off his nut because they ostracized him.
Yeah.
He wasn't crazy when he had the vision and he shared the vision with them about the magic ending. And
they kept asking him for stuff.
They asked him for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they asked him, one of the big things in the song is that this girl's wedding day, and her power is weather manipulation. It's tied to her emotions, which you know anything about comic books and whatnot, you know that that's a thing. Like Thor, he's pissed. It's going to be raining, or a storm from X-Men. The emotions are tied into the powers, so when they feel emotions, the weather tends to match up with their powers. This chick's got no emotional control at all. But her wedding day is the happiest day of her life. It's a bright, sunny day. And he goes, looks like rain. Now, the question is, did he see that it was going to rain and, he's just telling her, hey, it looks like it's going to rain today? Or the fact that he mentions that to her freaks her mind out, and then, boom, she conjures up a damn hurricane in her wedding day. Yeah.
So, let's talk about all their powers.
Okay.
And which ones we think, like, in rank order.
Okay.
So, there's a Camillo, the one kid, had the shape-shifting.
Yeah. Shape-shifting is top tier power. One of my favorite powers that I've seen in comics or TV or anything.
Okay.
My favorite shapeshifter is John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, who's the Swiss Army knife with superpowers. But shape-shifting is, I think, the most handy out of all of his powers.
Okay. Then there is Dolores, who can hear everything.
That sucks.
That's a sucky power.
But she didn't know Bruno was in the wall, so that doesn't make it.
She heard him, but she thought it was mice.
But there's no one can have. You know everybody's secrets, and that sucks.
Yeah, that's not a good power. And now I took this from some site where they ranked them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Abuela Alma was the keeper of the candle. So I don't.
That was the grandma.
The grandma, like she was just in charge of, like.
She didn't really have powers.
She didn't really have a power other than.
She was the head of the family.
Yeah. Luisa was the super strong one.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella created the limitless plants everywhere.
Like poison ivy. That's not a bad power to have, because especially in a village like that, if she's producing not just flowers, if she's producing food,
yeah,
she's pretty damn handy to have.
Antonio talked to the animals,
which is, again, well, I can see where that's handy, and I can see where that kind of sucks.
Bruno, of course, sees the future.
That sucks.
Julieta heals things with food.
That's very nice.
And then they have Mirabella here as her power, as she empowers her family.
Not really power per se. I mean, that's like that's more or less a skill that people can have.
So in this article that I pulled this from, shape-shifting was the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, they have Mirabella's power of empowering her family as the top one. Then followed with the healing power.
The healing power is great. I mean, first of all, they even showed it in the movie where she was making food and then people would show up with various injuries, and they needed food. Great, and there is something to be said for, like in real life, where food is a healing thing. Like people that meet at the dinner table to heal their soul, connect with people, to catch up, whatever. You go out to dinner with people. You over food talk. You might have some sort of dispute. Well, let's talk it over, coffee or whatever. There is a connection between food and healing already. But in her case, she was actually healing physical injury. That's a great power to have.
Of all of those powers, what do you think the strongest one is?
Shapeshifting. Okay. I know they say that that's the lowest one. That's bullshit. First of all, shapeshifting, as far as like superheroing goes, you can be whatever you need to be for whatever the situation is. So depending on the limits of your shapeshifting, if you can be anything at all, it's pretty damn handy that, hey, if I'm chasing down bad guys, that I can just turn into a cheetah and outrun whatever bad guys out there. Mm-hmm. Or if I gotta get into a small area and just turn into a mouse and scurry wherever the hell I need to go. You need to be stealthy and spy on something. Yeah, well, there you go. You're a spider.
So I'm wondering if these are ranked as far as like the impact to the story in Kanto.
It has to be,
because like shape-shifting, that character was very minimal in the story.
Yeah, he was just there for comic relief.
Yeah,
but I'm saying in life, or as somebody who's
in life, in real life, that shape shifting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just think that's one of the better powers to have.
Okay. So, I mean, all in all, I thought Encanto was a good movie. I certainly love the music.
The music was really good. Yeah.
It's catchy. You sing it. I find myself humming it a lot at work, and the kids are like, and one of the little girls today in my class, her mom is from Brazil.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Are you humming the song from Encanto?" Like she said just that word with this little Brazilian accent. It was so cute. But by far not my favorite Disney movie.
No. They broke format, and I think that was a good.
They broke format by keeping the main heroine of the story's parents alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you think of another Disney movie?
Well, they still had the dead parent. They had the best of both worlds. They had dead and live
They had
parents.
a dead grandpa.
Yeah.
So let's talk about best and worst animated or Disney movie.
Okay.
Disney, Pixar.
Disney,
yeah, because I know you're going to go to the
we'll talk about that
Spider-Man,
later.
Superman,
right?
All of that kind of animation. Let's stick with Disney, Pixar, that kind of thing.
So one of my all-time favorites is Jungle Book. It has been since I was a little kid. I think the music in Jungle Book is the best music from any Disney movie. And there are some top-tier Disney movies that had great music. Was it Under the Sea with the Little Mermaid? Or there's a couple of them from Little Mermaid. Freaking Bare Necessities is just a go-to song. It is one of the great all-time classic Disney songs, and I don't think there's one better. I don't.
Okay. I am a Aladdin fan.
Yeah.
My favorite Disney movie. Now I have to say, probably a little asterisk by my choices here because I haven't seen the more recent movies.
That's true.
So like, Moana and like all of those more recent.
Maybe
I haven't seen
we should
them.
do. We should watch like.
I never saw Rapunzel, and I'm talking Disney from my childhood.
Yeah.
My favorite. So, for me, Aladdin was the best. The music from Aladdin, I will sing today. It's such good music. The worst Disney movie for me is Pocahontas.
Yeah.
Did not like Pocahontas, not even a little bit.
The problem with Pocahontas, or one of the problems with Pocahontas, is being local. Like this all happened.
You know how historically inaccurate it is.
Not only that, but there was freaking mountains right in the on the shoreline. No. If you're going to animate something like, and I do believe that Disney animators do, particularly Pixar, when they're going about a particular place, they go to that place and they look and they sketch out what they're seeing. So if they were going to do like Pocahontas as Pixar, they'd be here. They'd go to Jamestown. They'd go to, whatever, and like look at the layout of the land. Because none of it was here. It was so disconnected.
Yeah, the actual like errors in the storytelling.
Yeah.
The historical inaccuracy of the whole film.
Yeah.
And then the music, the tree thingings. I can't.
It wasn't.
Not my favorite.
You're
not
right.
My
I
favorite.
agree with you. The early Disney movies. I mean, I used to take my niece and nephew to the movies like every week, and then of course VCRs and all. Tabitha went crazy for Little Mermaid and then Aladdin, but her absolute knockdown, drag out favorite was Lion King. I mean, she loved
Lion King was a great movie.
It really was.
We were having this discussion earlier in the car today too about how many of the themes of these Disney movies of this era. Because you can go to Disney like from way before me. Like when I was, like going to Cinderella. That
Beauty.
era of Disney, and then the era of Disney that I grew up with like Aladdin and Pocahontas and whatever. And then there's that era after that I'm not that familiar with. Going Toy Story and all of that, yes, but
Pixar was a game changer.
That.
Yeah.
The dark theme to the movie Lion King
Oh yeah.
not really being young child appropriate, and just reading it on paper. Like if you just put the storyline on paper, it's really dark.
You, to watch Mustafa die.
Mustafa.
Mustafa. Yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know. We'll get corrected. I'm sure.
Mufasa.
Mufasa.
That didn't sound right.
It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but I clearly remember him saving the cub. He's trying to get back up on the mountain and the hill. He's all jacked up, and his brother just knives his fingers away from the thing. Long live the king.
Terrible scene for a kids movie.
Yeah. But honestly, it's Jeremy Irons' best work. It really is. I love Jeremy Irons.
It was a great movie, though.
But that was his best work.
That's up there with my top.
Oh, yeah.
Disney movies. And I honestly think Aladdin, the reason I loved Aladdin so much is because of Robin Williams. The humor in it. And looking back at it as an adult, where you see all the adult humor that you didn't pick up as a kid, you know.
There's a lot of that, though, in Pixar movies.
Because they have to entertain the parents, too. Yeah. Who do you think, like, best, worst villain in a Disney movie? I would have to say Scar is probably worst villain for me.
Yeah. He killed his brother.
He really doesn't ever get redeemed, either.
No, not even a little bit. He set out to kill a baby. And then kill his brother. And then really just to poorly run the land.
Into the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, here's the bad guy who won at the beginning of the movie and fucked it all up.
Even Tilly hates it.
Yeah. But
worst villain?
Yeah, I'd have to say.
I would say that's the best villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I love it. Was one of those things where they found the absolute perfect voice for it.
Yeah.
Because Jeremy Irons is again, it's just there's none better. There couldn't have been anybody else that could read that and been any better.
Yeah.
So. So I'd say him, and then I remember when I took Tabitha to see Beauty and the Beast, the Gaston. What an asshole that guy was.
You think he was a villain?
Gaston? Yeah. I mean, it was kind of hard. You know the story, and you kind of start seeing, well, the Beast is actually an asshole too.
Yeah.
But, then he ends up not being as much of an asshole.
Yeah, but the Beast, Gaston didn't put the curse on the Beast.
Yeah. He's just a dick. He's a total dick.
Cruella de Vil, I don't like as a villain.
She wanted the murder of 100 puppies.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's pretty bad.
Vain and not real scary.
Yeah.
Best and worst hero or heroine?
Ooh. Well, let's see. I mean, I keep going. Well, The Incredibles were great, but I'd say this hero. I mean, you could go Hercules. That was pretty good. Tarzan was good. Aladdin himself. The problem I have with connecting to Aladdin is the whole thievery thing. But
what about Frozen?
Frozen is weird because I think when they originally put that story together, the girl was not supposed to be the hero. She is by far the most powerful person of all of Disney movies. By far. If you, by accident, twice create living creatures from ice, you are the most powerful character in Disney. That bar none. But as far as the heroes go, who stands out? I don't know. Not
What
Smith.
about the no? What
Jesus.
about in The Little Mermaid? What was the
Ariel?
Yeah.
Ariel was a good hero.
Or what about the guy that she fell in love with? Do you remember his name?
No one remembers his name, so he can't be a good hero.
It's true.
I remember Sebastian. I remember Flounder. I can't remember.
Yeah, those
his
are
name.
sidekicks. Like those are fun sidekicks.
You know who's the best hero in all of Disney? Marlin.
Marlin.
Guy who is trying to protect his kid. His kid gets taken away, and he goes through incredible stuff to get his kid back.
Yeah.
He is the hero of Disney.
I agree with that.
He faced Jaws. He went up against Jaws. I'm not even kidding. The Great White in and it's as a nod to Jaws, was named Bruce, which is what Spielberg named the animatronic shark. He called it Bruce because it was like a lawyer. It was a shark.
That was a good one. Best song? Worst song?
Bare Necessities is the best song by far. I mean, I love that song. I was watching it today, and I was like, that still does it. Now there are other great songs, like I said, Under the Sea.
For me, it's when I think of Disney songs, Prince Ali comes into my head. I just start singing that song right away.
Yeah.
Worst song would be anything from Pocahontas.
Yeah, there's nothing memorable.
Have you
about
ever
that.
heard the wolf cry to the blue forest? Please.
I heard somebody kick you in the balls.
Anyway, who would have thought we would have ever done a whole episode on Disney movies?
Yeah.
Me, not ever in a million years would I have been like, let's do an episode on Disney movies.
Now Pixar changed the game. They put out some next level stuff. And I'd have to say, out of all the Pixar movies, and I love The Incredibles because The Incredibles is the Fantastic Four done right. The Fantastic Four is one of my favorite books, and they've never gotten it right in a movie. And I really pray to God that Marvel is able to do it now that they've got Disney doing it, because they can just ask the guys at Pixar, "How did you do this?" Now, granted, you can do a lot in animation that you can't do in live action.
Obviously.
Yeah, which is great. But they got the characterization right for in Incredibles. They could easily switch that out for Fantastic Four, and it would have been perfect. But
they even had the little end of movie credit teaser.
Yeah.
With the baby.
Yeah.
Catching fire and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, there it is, folks. You're probably one and only Disney edition of Coming Up Roses. Tune in next week when we
talk about something completely. Well,
we talk about Sesame Street next week.
One fucked up episode. 2
Zero kids are listening to me right now.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do next? Are we gonna do bust out the old scene?
We gotta get our second segment in.
Want to do shit you should know? You want to do some therapy? I like the
therapy.
therapy.
No, we did therapy last week though.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we could do shit you should know.
We'll do shit you should know. And it's shit you should know.
See how prepared we are, folks.
Yeah.
We don't even know the shit we should know. So you trounced me in this last week.
Yeah.
Or last time.
Last time. Well, we'll see how it goes. Back in a minute. And we're back. And we're going to play some shit you should know.
Shit we should have known? Probably don't know.
Alright. I'll go first.
Okay.
What pasta is cooked? What the pasta is cooked to? Oh wait, I'm reading the answer.
Oh. That might help me out.
What does it mean to cook pasta al dente?
Just cooking the pasta to slightly underdone.
It says firm to the bite, so I'll take that.
Is that what is pasta not supposed to be firm? The bite, like, are you supposed to eat pasta al dente or not?
If you were to watch any Food Network show, they'd say cook it al dente, which to me has also been said to be underdone. I've heard them say just slightly underdone.
All right, then I'm giving myself a point because I need all the help I can get.
I'm giving you the point.
Close enough. Does 0 stand for latitude or longitude on the equator?
Longitude.
Latitude.
I had a 50-50 shot.
You did.
I did.
I'm ahead, 1-0. Your turn.
All right. What is the main ingredient in guacamole?
Avocado.
That is correct, of course.
Don't eat it. Don't like it.
I like a good guac.
I know you do. Yeah. I don't.
I used to not like guacamole or even avocado, and I've learned to love it.
You ready?
Yep.
What 3 colors are on the Irish flag?
Green.
Oh, we've asked these questions before.
Maybe green, white, and red.
No. Green, white, and orange.
Gosh. Not looking good for me.
You'll get the next two.
What famous psychologist developed and named a hierarchy of needs?
And if I don't get this right, it'll be really bad. Maslow?
Yeah.
Bloom. Maslow.
No, it is Maslow.
Got it.
I never in a million years would have got that.
No.
The famous psychiatrist is only what, Sigmund Freud and Dr. Ruth.
No. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is where I live every day, Kevin.
Well, shit. All right, your turn.
Maslow before you can bloom, or gotta bloom before you can Maslow. One of those. Tony Hawk is one of the world's most prominent practitioners of what activity?
Skateboarding. Yeah, you're right. We did read these.
I know, but you missed the first two anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. What artist is famous for the songs Your Song and Tiny Dancer, among others?
Elton John.
Sir Elton. There you go.
All right. 4-1.
Yeah,
Looking good here.
Yeah.
What do people with albinism lack?
Skin tone. They're like completely white. Melatonin, I guess.
Melanin. Pigment.
Melanin.
I'll give it to you. Pigment. Yes. Yeah. All right.
What does the abbreviation BRB stand for in internet slang and text speak?
Be right back.
Yeah,
Boom. This is going to be a short second segment.
I know. I have to pull out more cards.
What is the name of the largest hot desert in the world?
Sahara?
Sahara. Very good.
Sahara.
Score 5-3. You're catching up.
All right. What company owns YouTube?
Wow. What company owns YouTube?
Really?
Facebook?
No. Man, I thought for sure you would get that right.
I'm a
away.
dumbass. What did I miss?
Google.
Okay.
You'll
You
the
get a
next
question wrong, and this is. I thought for sure you know that question, you fucking moron. The 19th century goldsmith Fabergé is best known for creating what type of objects?
Eggs.
I'll give it to you. It says Easter eggs, but close enough.
Fabergé egg. Yeah. Who founded Playboy magazine in 1953?
Hugh Hefner.
Yep.
6-4.
Man, you definitely win because there's no way I can come back.
What does the company Ben & Jerry's produce?
Ice cream. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
We could tie if I miss this last one.
Which contains more milk? Cafe latte or cappuccino?
Cafe latte.
Yep.
What is a chinchilla?
It's like it's a small pet. It's like a rodent, I believe.
It's a rodent.
Yeah.
All right, you want to pull another card?
Sure.
It's 6-7.
Let's pull one more card.
I'll make sure we haven't answered these questions already. We might have done this one.
We might need to get a new set of shit you should know. The one I pulled, we did too.
I either already knew all of these answers, or we've already asked this card. You just looked at it. Trying to cheat.
I need to pull a card too, right?
This one we have not done.
Alright. You read last, so I go next.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll definitely get this one. What symbol does Batman have on his chest?
A bat?
A bat.
It's not an S. It's a bat. Julius Caesar supposedly said, Veni, Vidi, Vici. What does this mean?
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Very good. I don't know if I pronounced all those words right, but
I only know that from Ghostbusters.
oh my god. All right, next.
Where in the human body is urine created?
The kidney.
Yeah. Good job.
Wasn't really a hard question if you think about it.
Yeah.
If your zodiac sign is a fish, in which 2 months could you have been born?
Pisces. But I have no idea what the months are. I'm going to go with October, November.
February and March. Sorry.
How many fingers does Mickey Mouse have on each hand?
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as the thing from Fantastic Four.
What jersey number did the Canadian ice hockey player Wayne Gretzky wear?
66.
99.
Oh. God damn it.
You had it completely upside down.
I had no idea. I just pulled the number out of my ass.
That
God
was pretty
damn.
great. All right.
All right. So, no way I'm winning this. Who is the lead singer of the group Coldplay?
I mean, you're going to say it and I'm going to know, but I couldn't pull his name out
Chris
of my
Martin.
head. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Married famously to, what's her name? Gwyneth Paltrow for a while. They had a kid together. Named after.
What is plastic made of?
Oil. Petroleum.
Well, it wasn't terrible. 10 to 8.
Yeah.
I restored some of my cred from last week, even though
There you
you did overreact to the fact that I didn't know an answer to something.
Well, the Google thing, the Google YouTube thing, I thought that was just like, honestly, I thought for sure you were going to know that before I even finished the question.
Just keep digging. Just keep digging.
Mm-hmm. The one comment last time we played, I got a bunch of shit from people for the John Lennon thing. You know what? Fuck you people.
That's harsh.
I'm kidding. I love you guys. But
That is so hard.
man. So what we learned tonight is that we need a new set of shit you should know.
We
cards.
do. We should just pull out the old Trivial well, we probably don't have them anymore. Trivial Pursuit games. And just because I was never good at answering those questions.
Yeah,
So,
we have a
you
couple
tired?
up there. A little bit. I still got stuff I got to do tonight.
Kevin gets more tired on his days off than he does on the days he works.
Yeah, true that.
What did you do today? Laundry?
I did some laundry. Went and drove around, picked some stuff up. So yeah.
Now you got to go drive around, pick some more stuff up.
Yeah, gotta go throw some gas in the car.
I mean, we could get gas in the morning, but it would just add a whole nother.
I mean, I'd rather do it tonight, honestly, just because in the morning I'd be more rushed because I got work tomorrow. So gotta drop you off and get home and do work thing.
I know the people are riveted right now while they're listening to this. Just riveted, like on every word. They just want us to keep going.
Yeah,
I know we hit the 11-minute mark, and they're probably like, "Can't you make this in like an hour long shit you should know?"
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, if you guys would just throw some money in the Cash App at $KRoseVA.
Stop with that.
We can get some more quality games to play. So.
We have lots of games to play. We've got the Incoherent game we never play. We've got boxes of that game back there. We don't ever play that.
That's true. Yeah, we could go in the big closet.
We've got stuff to do here. Golly. All right, guys. So next week is a big week, though, actually, because it's Valentine's Day and our anniversary all rolled into one. Well, sort of.
And,
1
and
week.
Mike's birthday.
And Mike's birthday. President's
brother's
Day.
Mike.
3-day weekend for me.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Monday off?
Not this coming Monday, but the following Monday.
Yeah. There you go. And
Yeah.
then,
The only thing is, that sounds really great, but in the life of a kindergarten teacher, short 4-day weeks are just as long as 5-day weeks.
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. The kids really kick in an extra day's worth of fun.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, it's also the 100th day of school on Wednesday.
oh, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal in kindergarten, and we're having construction day. We're going to be a construction crew building our way to 100
Well, there you go.
days. So all the kids are going to have ID badge, which I totally messed up on today. Oh my God, it was. I printed them. They were these really cute little ID badges that say crew, and you put the kid's name on it, and they have these little character, like a little person character, cartoon character.
Yeah.
I printed them all out, and of course they have boys and girls and all different ethnicities and hair colors and whatever. So I just printed like a page of each. And I took them to school, and I sat down, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and put names on it. And not even thinking, I just wrote everybody's name on whatever the first 2 or 3 pages were. Clipped them together. Like, we need these to laminate, put them in the thing. So Robin was laminating them, and she goes, do you think the boys are going to mind that, like, their crew member is a girl? I'm like, what? And I had used all of the the girl character with the long ponytail down one side for all of the kids.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh, they probably wouldn't notice, but
Somebody's going to notice.
some parent will be like, what are you trying to, like, make my kid think he's a girl? I mean, I could just hear the parents complaining about it.
I mean, it probably wouldn't happen, but, the world that we live in, that
You just never know. I know. You just never know. And so we redid it, and I had enough of everything except for the little white girls. So I wrote on my note, print white girls. Kevin saw the note. He's like, print white girls. It's a whole thing.
I made a joke about it being an ink-saving measure.
Yeah. It doesn't use as much ink.
Yeah.
But they all get their own little badge, and then we have these jobs we have to complete throughout the day.
That's cool.
And for each job they complete, they get a number strip that adds to the 100 number grid.
Okay.
And so one of the things which should have been delivered because Amazon told me it was delivered, I ordered 600 Dixie cups.
Oh, I'll check the front porch.
Because one of their challenges is to build a big pyramid with 100 Dixie cups.
Oh.
So I'm going to have 6 teams working on. We're going to have Dixie cups flying all over that damn place. They're going to build bridges out of various materials.
Nice.
They're going to learn about the job of a construction worker. They are going to build we are building the snack for them because we can't just put food out that they can scoop into their own things anymore. So yeah, I'm talking, and I just said earlier today, I'm going to stop talking about school because no one really cares.
No, I do. I'm listening. I'm tired, but not.
Well,
not
I'm
because
done
of you.
anyway. It's okay.
I was just thinking that that you could play YMCA, the song, so they can see what construction guys do.
I think I can find much more meaningful examples than that.
Trying to think, isn't there like a cartoon guy that does construction or
Bob the Builder?
yeah,
They're a little old for Bob the Builder.
about dozers?
I have plenty of nonfiction texts on actual real
alright.
construction work.
There you go.
So, yeah. Anyway, I got carried away. I just before we started recording this just said I'm not going to talk about school anymore. I am talking about school, and he's yawning, which is why I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore.
Oh,
Because no one wants to hear about it.
Our audience wants to hear about it.
No, they don't.
There's a percentage of people in the educational field watching.
They don't need to hear about it. They already know.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Everyone else thinks I just color and sprinkle glitter on everything.
Well, I know better than
Sing
that.
songs and hug and tie shoes.
The couple
Save
times
the
that
world.
I've been in your classroom, I know that's not true. The last time I was in her classroom, I was helping out with field day, which was, I think, didn't it get rained out or something?
Yeah.
But I was helping her out, and I was sitting at the table helping these kids do part of this little project they were doing, and I didn't realize the kid was in the special needs, and
He's autistic.
yeah, he started to lose it a little bit. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do?
And then I sprinkled glitter on him, and everything was fine.
Wow. And then the little girl, also with autism, just kind of latched onto me. Which, that was a little weird too.
Yep. I don't know. All right. So that was our shit you should know, and shit I should know better than to do. And so I guess our record's probably about even wins and losses on this.
You know what? While I'm going through all the episodes, I'll track that.
Keep track.
Yeah. And I'll let you know probably by the year mark, by the episode 52 when we do our year in review.
We'll know our final total of who wins.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So enjoy this fun-filled week. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Enjoy President's Day. Well, we'll see you before President's Day.
And you know what? Watch a Disney movie. Pixar or Disney, whichever. Encanto is a good movie. Enjoy it. It wasn't my favorite Disney movie, but it was enjoyable.
It's good. Nothing wrong with it.
But just any Disney movie. Go for it. Let us know in the comments what you watched. Let us know what you think about Encanto if you've seen it or if you're interested. And let us know your favorite Disney movie and song.
Disney, Pixar, or DreamWorks. We forgot about DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Any of those animated powerhouses. Let us know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.